Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the Sun in conjunct the South Node in a natal chart. Now, first off, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have the Sun in conjunct the South Node in a natal chart, there may be an adjustment, which is the inconjunct, between the basic wants, which is the Sun, and really your past. It could be where it could be even a lot of vacillation between going after what you generally want, and things that are connected with your past, whether it's the South Node, which could be nostalgic, or could be people that figured prominently in your past. If you have your Sun in the zodiac in Gemini as an example, those basic wants, maybe tied into communication, assimilating, disseminating information, manual dexterity, taking could be taking short journeys, doing things, that are really, that require, your mental, cerebral ability. And the thing about it is, or if the Sun is in Taurus, those basic wants may be tied into creature comforts, peace, tranquility, having stability, just having, doing things maybe of an artistic nature in some cases, or, could be, gardening or cultivation as making money in general, generating income, things of that nature. And also, too, another way, the Sun in conjunct the South Node in a natal chart may manifest is where one may vacillate between wanting to shine, which is the Sun, and just simply doing what one is naturally proficient in, which is the South Node. And the thing is, if you have your South Node, in Capricorn, so what one may be naturally proficient in can be things tied in, with business, or it could even be, architecture, you know, um, it may be construction, may simply be, doing things to attain, greater social status and stature in life, as some examples. And another thing too, is that the natural built-in abilities, which is the South Node, may have much, too much or too little effect on one's ego, which is the Sun. Now, let's say, if you have your South Node in Aries as an example, those natural built-in abilities can be tied into leadership prowess and ability. It could be doing, professions with fire. It could be doing things with welding, carpentry, speech, therapy. It may be, ability, just to be pioneering, in general. But at the same time, even with those natural built-in abilities, if you have the inconjunct aspect to the Sun in the natal chart, it may either be, have such an effect on the ego, where it could be too much, or it just may be, sometimes not at all. And the thing is, another way this aspect may manifest in a natal chart is where there may be an imbalance between the activities that are associated with the biological father and dominant males, which is the Sun, and even children, because that's connected with the Sun, and those that are prominent in one's past, which is South Node. If you have your Sun in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, the biological father, children, dominant males, maybe Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are very caring, sympathetic, dedicated, devoted, tenacious, protective, introverted, um, sensitive, emotional, as some examples. And the thing about this aspect too is there could also be too much or too little attention, which is the sun, on the need on what is needed to be left behind, which is the south node. If the south node is in Aquarius, say, it could be some kind of real strong non-conforming, rebellious, idiosyncratic behavior. It could be, the south node is in Virgo as another example. It could be a proclivity to overanalyze things, like I've stated before in previous videos regarding the south node in Virgo. It could be like, seeing the dwad within the dwad. In astrology, it's just things where, it's overdeveloped, redundant energies, what the South Node is about. And the thing is, there may not be enough attention, hardly any attention on what one needs to leave behind, or there may be too much to the point where it could dominate one's existence to the point where, it's to the exclusion of other things. So you have to be careful with this energy. Now, another way that the Sun in conjunct the South Node may be expressed in the chart is that, the person may fluctuate between having, the exorbitant, the energy and vitality, which is the Sun, for activities associated with the South Node. And there may be times where there's, where the energy may be completely zapped, where there just, seems non-existent. If the South Node is in Scorpio, as an example, those activities may be tied into recycling or some kind of transformation. It could be matters of power and control, or doing something with psychology, locksmithing, the occult, which includes astrology, matters with insurance and taxes, as some examples. And also, too, another way that this transit may be expressed, it could be where the person at times may be supremely aware and conscious, which is the Sun, of those overdeveloped and redundant qualities that are connected with the South Node. And then other times the person may be simply oblivious to them. Now, if you have the South Node, as an example, say it's in Leo, it could be, overly, domineering, dominant qualities, to the point where, somebody is overdoing it, or, it might be something with creativity where the person feels, there's a need to constantly create, or to get attention, or to stand out, things of that nature. The generosity connected with Leo to a point where it might actually be, to a person's detriment, being overly dramatic, with issues, dramatizing to no end, giving the impression of grandeur when it's not necessary. And, as some examples. Now, also, too, this aspect can indicate that people from the past, which is the South Node, at times may, be very prominent in one's life, play a really, integral role in one's life and existence, which is the Sun. And other times they may appear to be, just non-existent and, not part of the person's life whatsoever. If you have, say, the South Node in Libra as an example, those people that were, in one's past, may be actually Libra Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be people that are very charming, tactful, diplomatic, cooperative, compromising, refined. It could be people that are artistic as well, and persuasive. So those are that's one way. This, as far as this aspect, how it may manifest and pan out on a chart, those are some ways it can. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.